You will not continue it with me unless you introduce a duly elected representative the right way.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another exciting episode of the UP Oddcast, where again we have another variety of odd videos. Boy, I can't speak. To go over today. Please be sure. I always look forward to you guys sounding off in the comments, getting in there with you guys. It's been awesome. So missed you guys a lot. Make sure you sound off down there. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. If you like today's video, please be sure to smash a like. Help brother out. Help brother and a sister out. And all right, without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into today's videos. Ontario Premier Doug Ford warns, if the U.S. escalates, I will not hesitate to shut the electricity off completely. Canada is now openly threatening to cut power to the U.S.
Let me be clear. I will not hesitate to increase this charge. If necessary, if the United States escalates, I will not hesitate to shut the electricity off completely. Believe me when I say I do not want to do this. I feel terrible for the American people because it's not the American people who started this trade war. It's one person who's responsible. That's President Trump. I'd rather be working together. I want to sell the U.S. more energy, more electricity, more critical minerals. I want to make Canada and the United States the richest, most successful, safest, most secure two countries on the planet. But as Premier, my number one job is to protect the people of Ontario and in hand protect the people of Canada. I will do whatever it takes. I will fight like I've never fought before to protect Ontario. Let me be clear.
I think he was clear. That was clear. Okay, so this is kind of one of those situations where it's like how it started, and then hours later, how it's going. Okay, so that didn't take long. Ontario Premier Doug Ford folded like a cheap newspaper and is backing down from his threat of imposing tariffs on electricity to the U.S. after Trump threatened to hit Canada with aluminum and steel tariffs of 50%.
Well, just a little while ago, I had an opportunity to speak to Secretary Lutnick. And Secretary Lutnick has sent out an olive branch to us to come down and immediately meet with him, meet with the whole trade administration, and discuss the future. Rather than waiting till April the 2nd, threats going back and forth, tit for tat, I've agreed to suspend temporarily, and we always have that tool in our toolkit, until we sit down over the next day or two. I'll be heading down to Washington along with Dominic LeBlanc, and we'll have a good discussion. You know, with any negotiation that we have, there's a point that both parties are heated and the temperature needs to come down. And I thought this was the right decision. They understand how serious we are about the electricity and the tariffs. And rather than going back and forth and having threats to each other, we have both agreed, let cooler heads prevail. We need to sit down and move this forward. This is a massive, massive deal, the USMCA, which the federal government will be leading the charge. I'll be sitting down with all our premiers tomorrow as well and discussing this and their issues as well. So we're going to go down there and we're going to go down there with confidence. We're going to go down there with strength. And again, hopefully we can move this forward. I feel as a province, and I only speak for the province of Ontario, I want to reaffirm I do not speak for any other premiers. Everyone's very patriotic, and we have the best premiers I've ever seen. But we're going to be talking about the USMCA moving forward. The worst thing that could happen is wait and let this drag out until April the 2nd. So we're going to move forward and have a very good conversation with Secretary Lutnick and the whole trade team, as he said, and hopefully we can move this forward, because it doesn't benefit anyone, as I told him, no matter if it's the auto sector or any other sector here in Canada and specifically Ontario. And all I mentioned, assembly lines will shut down in the U.S. and Canada. The stock market is tumbling over $4 trillion. Consumer confidence has went down. I said it's absolute chaos out there right now. We need to move forward jointly. I emphasize.
So it's his cooler head that prevailed.
Hey, I like him. I feel like I got a stern talking to from Ned Flanders, you know? I wanted to make a joke about getting the lights cut off, but I was afraid it'd be too dark. I'm here all week, folks.
Oh, man. Let's see what this guy has to say about it.
Hey, Canada, where's all that smoke for China? They just dropped 100% tariffs on your ass and you awfully quiet. I don't see Trudeau holding a news conference talking shit. I don't see your MPs going on TV and running their mouths. I don't see no TikToks and news reports of you pulling all the Chinese product down from your shelves. I don't see the protests in the street talking about Xi Jinping. Where's all that smoke you have for the U.S.? Y'all need to call that dude standing out in the snow that was smacking a Jim Beam bottle. Come on, I want to see that same energy when it comes to China. Oh, see, you won't do that. You only got that kind of drama and energy for the United States. Because you know that if you bitch and whine enough, the liberals in America are going to have your back. Because the liberals don't care about the fucking economy. They only care about an opportunity to hate Trump. You're not going to get that same love over in China because their citizens don't give a fuck about you. And the worst thing is, you doing this to yourself. See, back in October, you drew up some new tariffs for China that just kicked in. And China's response was bet. And now you got a new 100% tariff from one of your biggest trade partners. But you ain't got no energy, you ain't got no drama, you ain't got no smoke for them. No, you just gonna sit there and take it? I thought you Canadian people were too proud for that. I thought you weren't gonna accept tariffs from any nation. Thought you weren't gonna let no country take advantage of you. No, you just had that energy for the US because you think we're nice like that. So let me go ahead and see that same energy for China.
I love a good rant taken in bars, you know? Make sure to hit all the bulletin points.
Oh, man. They don't have that smoke.
That's right.
I don't know. Was I wrong for growing up and thinking the Canada and U.S., our relationship, I always thought of Canada as like our back porch. That's so wrong of me to say, though, if you were a Canadian living in what seems like a whole nother country.
Well, you want a hot take from somebody who lived 50 miles from the Canadian border? We always thought of Canadians as really, really shitty tippers.
Oh, that's not nice.
That's all. Look, I'm telling you, other than that, it was symbiotic, no problem.
And I like Canadians. I don't love the gun policies, okay? But, yeah, the mountains are awesome.
I know. I would love to go explore the rural regions.
There's only 41 million total people in Canada.
Really?
The whole country. 41 million.
But some of them can ride horses.
Well, they used to. I don't even know if they do that anymore.
No, they still do.
The mounted police?
Yes.
Really? That's a thing?
Yeah, I mean, it said the name.
Okay. Oh.
You betcha, bud.
You betcha. I don't know. I don't have a good Canadian accent. She absolutely puts him in his place. 911, there's been a murder. She has murdered him.
No taxes on tips, no taxes on overtime, no taxes on Social Security benefits. He is committed to all three of those things, and he expects Congress to pass them later this year.
I'm sorry, have you ever paid a tariff? Because I have.
That's
They
it.
don't get charged on foreign companies, they get charged on the importers.
And ultimately, when we have fair and balanced trade, which the American people have not seen in decades, as I said at the beginning, revenues will stay here, wages will go up, and our country will be made wealthy again. And I think it's insulting that you are trying to test my knowledge of economics and the decisions that this president has made. I'm now regret giving a question to the Associated Press. Mary, no taxes on tips, no
Cooked.
Boom.
You've been cooked.
Dang.
Let her cook.
I didn't know it was a roast special.
It's like Hell's Kitchen up in here with all
What
the
am
cooking.
I? An idiot sandwich.
Alina Habba shows off Biden's fake Oval Office.
You guys, I just finished a show. Look at the room that they put me in. We're in Biden's fake Oval Office, everybody. And I've actually figured this out. I now know why. I now get it. Turn the camera around. There is a screen, teleprompter to the face. All I can say is, The last administration was a disgrace. You guys?
I cannot disagree with that. But in my head, I'm like, man, you ain't showing me nothing I didn't already assume. You know what I mean? Which probably isn't great, right? Shouldn't be assuming everything. But, I mean, the people, it isn't necessarily always the figurehead, but the well-oiled machine behind the figurehead, right? If you've heard about the signatures, Joe Biden signatures, basically it was just a bunch of staffers running the presidency or running his administration, and he was really kind of checked out for it from what I'm hearing. But absolutely, I mean, this is like and totally. Why wouldn't I mean?
Exactly. And ultimately, you know, I have two thoughts. One is, well, what does it matter? We have movie sets for movies. Why can't we have a set for the president to make a speech at? But the second one is, well, because it airs of falseness. It's
right. It's
facade,
like,
and
it's
where
like
does that end?
Maybe this whole political theater thing is really
right.
theater.
It goes
you know?
a little deeper than we're comfortable with.
Yeah, way too deep, or way closer to the actuality of political theater. But does any of these backgrounds remind you of the Oval Office? Why are they calling that it doesn't remind me of the Oval Office.
It doesn't. And I've seen a couple of pictures of what they're referencing as his speeches that were supposedly here, and the picture in the background doesn't match, but I
can
don't
remember Biden speaking from this desk, from this position. But I don't know. That back wall doesn't really remind me of the Oval Office, but maybe I'm unfamiliar. Anyway, what do you guys think about this? I mean, please sound off down below. Let us know. Look forward to hearing your comments on it. It's weird world, wacko, weird stuff. Breaking: Department of Education employees have officially been told they must vacate offices by 6 p.m.
Right now, senior Fox Business correspondent Charles Gasparino reporting that the Education Department employees have been told that they must vacate their offices in D.C. and the regions by 6 o'clock tonight, and that the offices will be closed on Wednesday for security reasons. Right now, senior Fox Business correspondent.
Security reasons. Anyway, I think it's, Doge. Dun, dun, dun. It's going to be a bunch of, all I hear is the sound from the movie Psycho. Oink, 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 oink. It's like slashing is going to be happening or something, And then this kind of correlates right along with it. This woman has a question for Trump voters. Let's see what her question is.
I have a question for those that have voted for this administration. Did you vote for the Department of Education be taken out? Dismantled? Yeah. Did you vote for that? I'm just curious. I'm sure you wanted them to change things, but dismantling a department that helps your children and helps a lot of people.
Do they though? Do they? We look at the prison pipeline, school to prison pipeline. Have you heard of that? Mm-hmm. Anybody look that up? Check that out? I don't know.
Putting it with the states is not the answer, especially if the states don't have income taxes and if they're going to start taking those away too. Like, our children will hurt for this. They want to take away abortion. If you have a baby, you got to take care of it. They don't help you there.
I thought you had to take care of a baby if you had one anyway.
I know. That one, I was like, do you hear yourself?
So the Democrats think you have a baby and you're like, I don't want to take care of this. Someone come help. It's like, I'm not taking care of it. I don't know. What's the other end of that?
Then you take away education support. I'm curious.
Me too.
What's your mastermind thought plan? And I wonder, if it's good as his, then, whatever.
Listen, I don't have a mastermind thought plan, but it seems like the fellas over there in the new administration have a mastermind plan, okay? All right? It's just what it seems like. All right? I don't know. Sound off below.
We'll find out.
Shaniqua climbs through the McDonald's drive-thru window and gets beat with a pot. Everyone involved loses their wigs. Oh, man, that is... I'm trying not to laugh. Oh, no. What is it coming to, y'all?
She gonna have your ass leaking. I ain't stopping shit. Hey, bitch. Dumb asshole. She just beat the shit out of you.
Oh, shit!
Go to sleep.
Oh, my God. Oh.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep, dumbass hoe. Bring your dumb ass in the room. Bring your dumb ass down. Go your dumb ass out of here. I bet your ass won't do that no more. I bet your slow ass won't do that no more. I bet you won't do that no more. Yeah, drunk. Yeah, drunk.
All right, that's it.
So, again, over McDonald's, what's it coming to? What's going on? Like, what?
You know, she really wanted her fries filled. They have been skimping. Okay, I can say
That, man.
And the guy's just sitting there. He's like, I ain't stopping crap.
Social decline, urban decay. You know, I coined that term from the Fleckus podcast, you know, but it's true. It's like, that's what we're witnessing. Okay. Social decline, social order collapsing, right? There's a certain way that we go about society. And it's like, what's going on? Where are we? You know, are things getting better in society and social situations?
I think they will, but it's a bell curve.
Yikes. What's going on here?
Estamos bien.
Spencer.
No puedes.
Ey, ¿por qué es el policía entonces?
Estamos bien.
Spencer.
How do you fix this culture? How do you fix this culture?
Darwin says it'll fix itself.
It'll all just work itself out.
I will say the second person, like the clothes was like, you were like a hedgehog, like a running little hedgehog. Couldn't see nothing. I couldn't tell you nothing about that person. But the other person,
His pants about to fall.
well, that's the only thing I can tell you about that person.
And not the pants he's holding.
Nope.
But, you know, I mean, for a second, my mind's like, what if culture is so fragile that it's not something that can necessarily be fixed? Like once you set up a cultural order, a societal order, and you dismantle or disrupt or, you know, you chink away at it.
I do think history will look upon this generation as a lost generation. They literally have the lost generation. What was that, World War I?
Oh, I thought that was the silent.
I thought it was the lost, but I could be wrong. But regardless, when I think history and like the future will have history reporting this, you know, millennials, unfortunately, Gen Zers, not a blanket statement. I don't like blanket statements, but I think that we have been heavily propagandized and experimented on. You know what I mean? I think that in 20 years, we'll look back and be like, wow, I can't believe they didn't see any of that coming.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, hindsight's 2020, you know, being able to look at it all laid out.
Literally, hindsight 2020, because that was the year that everything...
Dang. What's it all coming to? Sound off in the comments below. Representative Keith Self just called Democratic Representative Sarah McBride Mr. during a committee hearing. Sarah McBride is a man who makes believe he is a woman. Looks like we definitely have a major rift in our country. Check this out.
I now recognize the representative from Delaware, Mr. McBride.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ranking Member Keating, also wonderful.
Mr.
I'm
Chairman,
sorry.
could you repeat your introduction again, please?
Yes, we have set the standard on the floor of the House, and I'm simply...
What is that standard, Mr. Chairman?
The president said that there were only two genders, male and female. And so...
Would you repeat what you just said when you introduced a duly elected representative from the United States of America? Please.
I will. The representative from Delaware, Mr. McBride.
Mr. Chairman, you are out of order. Mr. Chairman, have you no decency? I mean, I've come to know you a little bit, but this is not decent.
We will continue this
You
hearing.
will not continue it with me unless you introduce a duly elected representative the right way.
This hearing is adjourned.
Well played, good sir. Well played. There's only two genders. All righty, everybody. It's time to get into some word. I know that I could use some word. You could probably use some word too. I know I need it. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5. Absolutely. I fall victim to it when you're leaning on your assumptions or maybe not your best thoughts. Usually when I try to take control of a situation or think I know what's going on, I wind up making a mess or making things worse. And so it's just like, don't worry so much. Whatever your worst thoughts are or whatever you're worrying about, don't lean into your understanding about it. Trust that He is making a way, that He is taking care of it. He has your best interest at heart, and He hasn't forgotten you, forsaken you, left you, abandoned you, regardless of what it looks like. Know that at the end of the day, He wants to take care of you. He is making a way for you. Just keep praying. Just keep reaching out to Him and try not to worry. Don't lean on your own understanding. Jesus said, where 2 or 3 gather in my name, there am I with them. Matthew chapter 18, verse 20. And that's just hit me. I really wanted to share that with you guys. Don't forget that. Don't forget this. We're so bad at I'm so bad at forgetting. I think as in general, humans are kind of forgetful, and we forget really important key information. And this is so powerful. I cannot even describe to you. I literally don't have the words. That where 2 or 3 gather in His name, that He is right there with you. Not that He isn't always, with the understanding of, omnipotence, I can't say the word. He's everywhere all the time, right? He's watching all of us. There's an account being made for everyone. And He knows us all very personally. Every hair on our head. He knew us before we were in the womb. But that's kind of our job, is to get to know Him. Here we have a chance to get to know Him in a new way. Don't forget how powerful this is when you're in trouble. That praying with other people is so powerful, dude. It's so powerful. Another verse that comes to my mind is, the prayers of a righteous man availeth much. Just don't forget this. I forget this, and I just think it's so powerful. We need to be praying together, going to Him. I grabbed this one just because I feel like it coincides with the other 2 verses. He looked at them and said, with man, this is impossible, but with God, all things are possible. And that's just another thing. Don't forget it. Don't forget it, man. Whenever you think you're dealing with an impossible situation, many things are impossible to us, but with Him, all things are possible. He is the God of possible. Okay. He will make a way. And He cares for you, and he wants to get involved. And all you got to do, it's never Him that goes away. It's us. We always find a way. We always get distracted, or that's the whole point. The reason that, Satan or the enemy tries to tempt you into sin is to pull you away from God, because when you have a guilty conscience, you don't really, sometimes, we struggle with going back to Him, and they can lead us away, by trying to trip us up, make us stumble. And just pray, Lord, keep me with you, keep me near you, and please make a way for us, Lord, that I'm dealing with an impossible situation, and that You are the God of possible, and that You care about me and my situation, and that I trust that You will make a way, and believe it, and it will happen. And ye shall seek me and find me when ye shall search for me with all your heart. All right, friends. Well, I'm afraid that's all we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us, especially if you've watched this far. Today we went with a little bit longer episode. Guys, please, if you like this video, be sure to smash a like if you haven't, subscribe if you haven't, And please comment again, tickle the algorithm. We could use as much help as possible. Be sure to share this out with your friends. And we will catch you guys on the flip side. Y'all have a blessed one. We will see you on the next one.